Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the first episode of the 2025 NFL season. Welcome to the Swank Tank. I am your host, Ryan Swankowski. If you have never listened, never watched, tuned in before, this is an NFL only show now. It used to be basically only NFL. It is now only NFL. And I believe there's a niche out there. There's a niche and a need for an NFL only show / podcast. You got great other podcasts itself, like Pardon My Take. I listen to them. They're great. They talk some ball. They talk some other things, though, as well. You got ESPN, you got your usual shows, cable, things like that. When it comes to the podcast and show market purely for NFL, there is a gap that needs to be filled, and that's why I am here today. I love the NFL. It's my true passion, and it's going to be your one-stop shop for everything and anything NFL. We're going to have some deep dive analysis. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, appreciate you. Thank you very much. Hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. And my notes are over here on my left. That's on my left screen. So if you're watching, I'm going to just do some quick glances. It's like looking down at a notepad, but 2025. So this is where my notes will be staying over here. And we're going to be doing on this show throughout the year 2 episodes a week. Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time, Thursday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Those are going to be the big ones. That's previews for that upcoming week in the NFL. Bets, storylines, injuries, fantasy news, all of it. All your NFL news and updates in one spot. You can listen, you can watch, all of it. It's going to be fantastic. So appreciate you all tuning in. Got my own apartment here, moved in 2 days ago. If you're watching, you can see the couch and the countertop and whatnot. New high-def camera is going right now. Man, she looks pretty. And it's a new season, so very much looking forward to keeping this going and really revamping it and growing the audience, and excited that you are all here tuning in, listening, and or watching. So welcome to the 2025 season. It's going to be a great one, and we're going to have a lot of fun on this show. It's going to be a good time, and a lot of good things coming your way, coming my way, hopefully. So go follow us on TikTok, Instagram, if you haven't already or are not. It is at the Swank Tank on basically every platform. Probably can't miss it. It's the blue logo with the swan in the tank full of footballs. So there is that. Appreciate all the follows and all the likes and everything like that on all the media platforms. And this is a one-man crew right now, looking for somebody to come in and help me a little bit with some graphics and some editing things. But right now it's from production to show itself to recordings to graphics to social media, all of it. It's just me. So if you're listening or watching out there and you think, you know what, this is interesting to me, maybe I could help out, send me a DM. Never know. Maybe we can get something going. But really appreciate you all tuning in. It's going to be a fantastic year. Again, NFL only. It's your one-stop shop. And the inspiration for the show, before moving along, Josh Pate, college football guru, #1 college football show in America right now. Josh Pate is my inspiration for the show. The way he goes into the analytics of things, the ways he views the college football landscape on a week-to-week basis, his delivery of his opinions is fantastic. His analysis is always great, seeing both sides of things, not letting his biases come into play. Josh Pate is truly an inspiration for the sports media landscape as a whole. When it comes to football, that's who I'm modeling this show after. And he's awesome. And so I hope to, get up to that level of broadcasting ability that he has. And that's part of the goal of this as well. It's not only to have fun, not only to reach a new NFL audience and with you all, but also to become a better broadcaster itself. So appreciate everybody tuning in again. And tonight's show, we are going to first talk about preseason hype. Who has gained the most hype in the preseason? I got 4 main players for you coming your way. After that, we're going to debate a little bit about the virtual measurement system. I'm not sure how everybody's feeling about that. We're going to get into that a little bit. After that, I have my top 12 first round mock draft for you. I will give you 1 through 12 who I think should go first, second, third, and so on in PPR drafts. The first 12 picks, my personal opinion. After that, we got my special segment. Every episode, we're going to be doing a Remember When segment. And it will go over a big story or a big play or a big game, anything that does with the NFL that was big a few years ago, could have been last year or whatever it was, just a big remember when. I'm going to dive into some nostalgia for all the listeners out there. Just good times, funny stories, interesting stories in the NFL that happened over the past years, decades, however long. But that's going to be a big segment here. Remember when. Lastly, another big recurring segment on every episode is going to be Swank's Banks. That's when we're talking about our bets, some other bets that maybe get in place, some popular bets, some lines, some over-unders, all the good things that have to do with NFL betting. I'll be talking about that as well. So those are going to be the two reoccurring segments. That is for tonight's show. Again, it is Monday, August 18th. Appreciate everybody being here. Really stood out to me. Number one, we're going with Travion Henderson. You've probably heard this name a bunch already in the offseason, a bunch throughout the preseason. 38th overall pick by the New England Patriots, and now Mike Vrabel's team. Newly acquired head coach Mike Vrabel. Spent some time in Houston, played for the Patriots a while ago. Back in New England, I love that hire. I think New England's got a lot of potential for this upcoming year. I'm seeing some people say New England to the playoffs. I could be one of those guys saying that. I don't know. That might be for a future episode. But the New England Patriots drafting Travion Henderson seems like a great move already. 38th overall pick from Ohio State. 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in his first ever touch and game in the NFL, first week of the preseason. Second week, finds Pater again, rushing touchdown. He's explosive. He's got good hands. He can make you miss in open space. I mean, this is a very, very dangerous running back. And then now enters an offense with Drake May. Now enters an offense with Stephon Diggs and other young talent around there. Hunter Henry, very solid fantasy player this year, in my opinion. And Drake May, I'm very, very high on. They've got a solid passing game attack now in Drake May year 2. Diggs, like I mentioned. Travion Henderson, at this moment in time, lives at number 2 on the depth chart. I would not be surprised if, come the first snap of week 1, he is the back on the field. You may think Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson's also mixed in with that offense. That's kind of their three-headed monster. Travion Henderson, if not starting week 1, will start very, very soon after that and be given a majority of the reps. Stevenson's a talented player. 2 years ago, he had a really strong year. Last season, had a big problem with fumbles. We all know running backs live and die by the sword very fast. You're great one year, you could be bad the next year, you're off a team the next year. Kind of how it works sometimes. Not saying that's happening here with Stevenson, but the fumbling issue was a big deal apparently to New England, and as it should be. They go out and get Henderson. He's been really making a name for himself. He already had that coming out of college, but he's really been making a name for himself in this preseason already. That's probably my favorite player that I've seen so far in preseason that's made some valuable plays already. So after that, let's go to player number 2. We got Jake Bobo, Seahawks wide receiver, 3rd year now in the league, undrafted free agent after the 2023 NFL draft out of UCLA. 2 touchdowns this preseason, has played in all 17 games back-to-back seasons. More of a special teams guy that is trying to evolve into a starting, not necessarily starting, but a solid depth wide receiver role as well. So 3rd year in the league for Jake Bobo. Previous 2 years, played in all 17 games in both seasons. Undrafted after the 2023 draft. Again, played ball at UCLA. Currently just behind Cooper Kupp on the depth chart. So he's a 2nd string wide receiver on the depth chart right now. He's got 2 touchdowns this preseason. He's been looking fantastic. It's another big name. Not necessarily big, but a bigger name that you've probably heard before that's playing well this preseason. And that wide receiver room with JSN and Cooper Kupp is stacked. But every team needs a wide receiver 3. Every team needs solid wide receiver depth. Jake Bobo could be that wide receiver 3/wide receiver 4 guy for Seattle this season. He's playing well. It's another big name to look out for this coming season to potentially move up the ranks. 3rd on my list, Austin Booker. Probably don't know too much of him. Defensive end, 2024, so now entering his 2nd year in the league. 5th round pick out of Kansas. If you want to guess how many sacks he has in 2 preseason games so far, go ahead. I'll give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. He's got 4 sacks, ladies and gentlemen. He leads the preseason in sacks for the Chicago Bears. He got dinged up in last night's game a little bit against the Bills, but still able to get a sack, then exited the game. Believe he's okay. Believe it was a leg injury. He's questionable moving forward. I'm sure he'll be all right given a few weeks. But 4 sacks so far in the preseason, like I mentioned. Played in all 17 games last year. Again, a big depth piece, but a name most people, including myself, haven't heard much of. 1.5 sacks last season. So obviously still a lot of room for playing time and things of that matter. But he does have that experience in his first year playing in all of those 17 games. You thought with the exit of Darrell Taylor that defensive end Darrell Taylor, if you don't know who Darrell is, with the exit of him, that maybe there was more room for Booker to kind of take a step up and work his way up the depth chart. That seemed like the case, and that still may be the case. Yet they, in the offseason they bring in Odeingbo, hard one to pronounce there, from the Colts defensive end. So Montez Sweat is working one side of the line. You got Odeingbo working the other side of the line from Indianapolis. There's room for Booker to succeed here. Sweat is a very good player. Odeingbo is solid. Didn't have a great year last year. So I believe that's probably his big competition for snaps. But Austin Booker, hopefully he's healthy. He's making a big name for himself. And he's an exciting player to watch. Forced to be reckoned with. Week 1 had 3 sacks alone. I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care if you're going against third strings. That's impressive in itself. 5th round pick going into his 2nd year in the league. It's impressive. I think that's very impressive. So he's also a name to look out for, and he's having a great camp and a great preseason. So if I'm the Bears, I'm happy with that. If I'm head coach Ben Johnson, I'm happy seeing some guys, young guys especially, starting to work their way up the ladder. So that's an exciting little piece here for the Bears to, maybe work with a little bit moving forward and maybe work his way to a starting spot as the season moves along. Last, 4th guy I really want to mention so far in this preseason, Cam Little. This got media attention. It didn't get as much attention, as I thought it deserved. Cam Little hit a 70-yard field goal in the first preseason game. I'm sure you saw it. After 12 hours, nobody really cared that much about it. Maybe I'm seeing that reflected in his popularity reflected in fantasy drafts going earlier than maybe he should be, or going top 3 in kickers, which may be valid based off his last year's stats we'll get into. Cam Little hit a 70-yard field goal for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't care if it was preseason practice. That's unbelievable. The current record right now is Justin Tucker with 66 yards. I believe that was 2021, and it hit the post. This Cam Little field goal, this thing was good by a freaking mile. I think it could have been 72, maybe 73. It didn't hit the bar. It had room. 70-yard field goal, Cam Little, Jaguars kicker. He was drafted. Most kickers, go undrafted free agent, get signed after the draft. Drafted 2024, 6th round pick from Arkansas. This little guy has a leg. Has an absolute cannon for a leg. 70-yard field goal. Tucker holds that record at 66. 2024, he went 27 of 29 on kicks. It was 93%. He was also 100% on extra point attempts. Didn't miss one all year long. Granted, it was the Jags. They weren't scoring much. But 100% on extra point attempts, 27 of 29 on field goals. He was perfect between 20 and 39. Missed 1 from 40 to 49 and missed 1 from 50 plus. That's it. He sneakily had one of the best years of a kicker of anybody last season. So, draft Cam Little. I don't think the Jags will be finding too much pay dirt this year as well. Brian Thomas might do it alone. I'm not a believer in the Jags. They got Cohen down there. They got Gladstone down there. They got a lot of new pieces in the front office. They got new pieces kind of all over. Brian Thomas, obviously the big impact player. Can Trevor Lawrence take that step finally? Granted, he's had a head coach carousel. He's had a front office carousel. He's had personnel carousel. It's been all over the place for Trevor. I want to see him succeed, and it might take one more year. And I believe this is his 5th season, going into his 5th season. So as talented as a player he is, you got to give him a little leeway over the past few years. But, man, He's been struggling. Last year he struggled. You got to see at least some positive development this year. Doesn't got to be bonkers. Doesn't got to be, what he should have been coming out of college in one of the best prospects we've ever seen at the quarterback position. Trevor Lawrence, though, does need to, present signs of life within him this year. Cut down the turnovers. That'd be a good start. And it's a new offense. It's a new scheme. It's a new system yet again for him. If he plays just well this year, doesn't have to be great, just play solid, I'll be a much bigger believer of 2026 Trevor Lawrence than I have been in years past. So that all being said, Cam Little, you'll be kicking a good amount of field goals this year, I imagine. Great draft pick for the upcoming season. Great camp and preseason for him as well. Not that he even needs it, but 70-yarder, it's unbelievable. That's crazy. All right, so those are our preseason hype guys. Who has gained the most hype of the players? 4 big names to continue to watch out for, maybe in week 3 and as the season goes along. Moving into something a little bit more technical, literally, and a little bit more up for debate. The virtual measurement system. So, obviously, as all of us NFL fans know, the chain gang has been involved in the NFL since its birth, I believe. You bring out the chain, it's 3rd and 1. Your running back kind of gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage for maybe a 6-inch gain. Pause. 6-inch gain, but they get stopped, and you got to bring those chains all the way out. The ball gets placed in an iffy spot. The ref doesn't really know where to place it. He's just giving his best bet. You bring out those 60-year-old guys with chains, bring it out, you stretch the chain as far as you can. The whole system. It was kind of an iconic yet redundant and non-accurate is a better way to describe it system that the NFL has been using for decades. And now we get this virtual measurement. So I want to ask you, are you for this system or are you against this system? I would love to hear your opinion because according to Yahoo Sports, according to the league, this system is supposed to take 30 seconds. Ball gets placed. Instead of bringing the chain out, they go, okay, we're going to do virtual measurement. It's saying here, process should take, quote, no longer than 30 seconds, according to Yahoo Sports. So if you watch tennis, I believe tennis has this as well, where you can see the shadow of the ball on the line. I think this technology has been needed for years, first off. But I'm glad it's finally being implemented. And I'm curious to know your thoughts out there. So comment on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you want to comment, Spotify, what your thoughts are on this virtual measurement system. And if you haven't seen it or you haven't been watching the NFL preseason at all, it looks pretty good, in my opinion. And the first time you see it, it's a bit of a shock. But to me, it looks great. And so far, it seems relatively accurate. But there's 6 8K resolution cameras in every single NFL stadium now, preparing for that moment if they need to go to the virtual measurement system. So I just need to know your opinion on it. I am absolutely for it. And over as years progress, I'm sure that the accuracy will continue to progress. But man, I am going to miss that excitement of, oh my God, did he get it or not? Let's wait 4 years for these old guys to just run on out with some chains and big yard markers and whatnot just to see if the ball crossed the pylon or crossed the line. So I think it's a big step and a necessary step for the NFL. And especially Raiders fans, I'm sure you're loving this. 2017 Cowboys at Raiders, 3rd down and short. Might have been 4th down in all honesty. Gene Steratore whips out the index card. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go look this up, even though I believe most of you who are watching or listening do. The Cowboys went for it. I'm forgetting if it was 3rd or 4th down. At this point in time, the Cowboys were 7-6. The Raiders were 6-7. Meaningful game towards the back end of the season. And they bring out the chain gang, and it's too close to call. The ball is literally at the end of the chain. It's too close to call. You cannot see it with the human eye visibly if the ball is past the chain or not. So Gene Steratore, the ref at the time, who now does a lot of the official stuff in the booth for officiating, whips out an index card. An index card in front of probably 65, 70,000 fans against, quote, America's team. an index card to decide, I believe with 3 minutes left in the game, if this was a first down or not. He gives a little smirk and he goes, yep, first down, Cowboys. Cowboys go on to win that game 20-17, by the way. So it's moments like that I'm going to miss given this virtual measurement system. But I won't actually miss them because at least we'll know now that it's probably way more accurate and we will have less cause for debate. So I'm very much for this system. It looks good to me. It is necessary to me as well. So let me know your thoughts on that. But RIP 2017 Raiders. If you're a Raiders fan out there, you got to be thanking the Lord, blessing your stars, whatever you're doing, saying, at least we won't have an index card pulled out in the middle of a game for us yet again. So measurement system, it's here. I think it's definitely here to stay. I'm enjoying it so far. So will I be mad at the technology when my team, if you can't tell from my background with that little helmet over there, my Texans get a call against them with that measurement system? I'll be mad. I'll probably be mad. But every fan will be at some point. Just the way of the water. That's how it goes. All right. Now it's time to shift over to some fantasy stuff. We are doing my top 12 picks in order for any PPR draft you may be entering. It is fantasy football season, people. I'm getting Venmo requests for my league dues. Everybody knows how this works. If you are an owner of a fantasy football league, you understand the struggle of getting everybody to pay, getting everybody to pick a draft date. It's a challenge out there. It's a challenge. But welcome back to fantasy football season. I had my first draft last night. I had the second overall pick. I drafted my boy Bijan, hook 'em horns, and love that pick. Bijan this year is going to be a beast in that Atlanta offense. Let me ask you off the bat. Are you drafting Kyle Pitts? If you are, I feel sorry for you. I feel very sorry for you. But we got my top 12 in order mock draft here for PPR leagues. And we're going to start with number 1. We'll go in that order. We'll go 1 through 12. And I believe this is the unanimous and consensus number 1 of the year. My number 1 overall pick for this year, again, if you're in a 12-person mock draft, like the first round, this is how it should go right here. Number 1, in my opinion, Jamar Chase. No explanation really needed. Joe Burrow returns healthy. You got a healthy Chase now. Higgins is healthy. The offense is healthy. Obviously, the biggest key here is Joe Burrow remaining healthy. Can he do that? He hasn't really been able to do it his entire NFL career so far. Chase is the man. He had 17 touchdowns last year. 17. Unbelievable. I believe it was 17. Unbelievable. He's my unanimous number 1 pick. If you got the number 1 overall, you're in a PPR league, Jamar Chase should probably be the guy you're getting at the number 1 overall pick. Not much else needed to say there. Number 2. I actually think this pick is a little bit up for debate, but to me, it's Bijan Robinson. You saw it last year. So dynamic, unbelievably shifty for his size and space. That offense has a lot of weapons. You don't got to be concerned about them being a one-trick pony. You got Penix Jr., who I believe is really going to settle in this year. I'm high on him. And an offense that's got Drake London, Kyle Pitts. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. There's a lot of weapons on that offense so that they don't got to stack the box against Bijan. He had a fantastic season last year. I expect even bigger things this year from Bijan. Love him at number 2. You're going to get great value. You're going to get a player that will be consistent. He should remain healthy. He's a beast. Absolutely love Bijan. And outside the football field, he's a great human being. So, and he's a long one. Got to love that. But Bijan Robinson, my number 2 pick in PPR this year. I drafted him last night. Love it. Number 2, Bijan. Number 3, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. I'm seeing a lot of people take Jettas here, Justin Jefferson, and that's a great pick. I am worried. I am worried about Justin Jefferson in the whole J.J. McCarthy situation. And I know it's preseason and it's training camp, and social media can be so misleading, along with some preseason games and snaps like that. But from what I'm seeing out of J.J. McCarthy, I'm not loving it at all. Even if I was seeing good things and big flashes from him. He's, quote, a rookie quarterback. Last year missed the whole season, obviously, with his injury. I mean, I don't know. Justin Jefferson, to me, is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Can I trust J.J. McCarthy to get him the ball consistently? The answer is no. Will he be double teamed every game? Yes. Will he be triple teamed the first 3 weeks? Yes. Yes, he will. Jordan Addison is suspended. Rondale Moore is out for the season. TJ Hawkinson had some injury concerns last year, may have them again this year. Hopefully not, but he may. They got Aaron Jones at running back. That's great. I'm worried they're going to stack the box, say, hey, JJ, throw it. And I'm worried he's not going to be able to do it at a high level, not this year. So the production aspect worries me a little bit in terms of just getting the ball in his hands. Can JJ consistently find him what needs to be minimum 8 times a game? Really minimum 10 times a game. Accurately. Can he do it? I'm worried about that this year. I'm really worried about J.J. McCarthy. And I'm worried about that Vikings offense. So maybe I get proven wrong. Maybe J.J. McCarthy turns out to have a better, quote, rookie year than I'm anticipating. But long story short, at this pick, I'm not going Justin Jefferson at 3. My third pick is Saquon Barkley. You know what you're going to get. And to me, there's a fall off in running backs this year at a certain point. I believe the top 4 of them, 4 or 5, where you got those 4 elite guys. After that, they're all relatively, for the next 5-10 guys, within the same ballpark in terms of fantasy production projection. So go and get your running back. Go and get your Saquon. Go and get a guy that not only you like to watch, unless you're a fan of the NFC East, a fan of the Commanders or the Cowboys or the Giants. Well, if you're a Giants fan, then that's just sad anyways. But go and get your Barkley if you have the number 3 overall pick. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get crazy production. You're going to get a guy that you love to watch on Sundays or a lot of primetime games. He's a beast, man. He's a beast. And like I said, that running back, there's a top 4, top 5 echelon. After that, it's pretty consistent in those next 5-10 guys in terms of production and in terms of what I think is their value. Not too much difference. Go and get your Saquon at 3. Saquon to me, number 3. Number 4 is Jettas. That's where Justin Jefferson comes in. I know it's only a 1-pick difference. Maybe he can slide for me a little bit more, honestly. He's just so talented. He's so talented. Can J.J. McCarthy and Ken O'Connell find a way to just get the ball in his hands? And I'm worried about the first few weeks because Moore out for season, Addison suspended, what that's going to look like in terms of him being triple teamed, quadruple teamed. I'm a little worried about that. That being said, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL and pure talent, in my opinion. He goes number 4. Number 5. This is a very interesting one for some people, and for some people it's very much not. It's a clear cut. I've got McCaffrey at number 5. He's usually going around 6, 7, 8 this year so far. I've got McCaffrey at 5. Very, very high on Christian McCaffrey this year. I think it's a big bounce back season for him. The Niners as a whole were just all over the place with injuries. All season long, running backs going down, tight ends. Kittle actually played a good amount of the games, but defensively were injured. I mean, it was just a hospital fest over there for the Niners. They only won 6 games last year. Did you know that? The 49ers went 6-11 last season. I had to do a double take when I saw that. 6-11. They have the easiest schedule, I believe, in the NFL for this upcoming season. I expect a big bounce back year from the 49ers. And I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be a big part of that. Seeing reports that he is fully healthy, he's running faster than he ever has. Whether that's true or not, I'm not fully paying attention to. I do believe he is healthy, and I do believe this is a big bounce back year for the Niners. Given the easy schedule, given that they seem to be more healthy, given that Ayuk, he's still dinged up, but given probably 6 weeks, he'll be back for the regular season, maybe around week 6 or so. McCaffrey's going to be the workhorse, the piece for this offense. Him at number 5 to me seems like great value. I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. He could go maybe even higher than 5. McCaffrey at 5 or higher. Love it. Number 6, CeeDee Lamb. Healthy Dak Prescott. George Pickens there to also take away some of the pressure. Pretty simple. CeeDee Lamb, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Prescott staying healthy obviously plays a major role here. I love CD. He's a fantastic player. And I really do think some people could, there's 2 sides of that coin always. oh, they go and get a guy like George Pickens. That's going to take away some of his fantasy value, some of his fantasy points, his targets. To me, I don't think so. I think Pickens provides great value in terms of that offense and gives Dak another weapon. I think it's going to open Lamb up a lot. Pickens is going to be that guy that stretches the field, the home run hitter. And I'm not saying Lamb can't do that. He very much can. I think, though, that Pickens takes away some of that pressure off Lamb for sure, allows him to get open more, allows him to not be double covered as much, and find the end zone more often maybe. So CeeDee Lamb at 6, that's who I'm going with there. So 1, Jamar Chase, 2, Bijan Robinson, 3, Saquon Barkley, 4, Justin Jefferson, 5, Christian McCaffrey, and 6, CeeDee Lamb. Coming in at number 7, and this is a guy that maybe is going earlier than 7, Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs. Phenomenal athlete, great player. Dan Campbell loves to run the rock, ground for pound type of guy. I'm worried about the Ben Johnson absence. I'm worried about it. That's why I have him at 7, which I think is still pretty reasonable. I've been seeing Gibbs go around 4 or 5, but to me, he belongs around 7. He could even slide a little further to me, in all honesty. Dynamic, but he's got David Montgomery as the handicap. You saw last year, they do almost a split. It's almost a 50-50, maybe a 60-40. I'm worried about the offense without Ben Johnson there now. Maybe I'm over-worrying, but Jahmyr Gibbs at 7 to me, he could even go a little lower. He can go 8, go 9 for me, but at 7, Jahmyr Gibbs, dynamic, versatile player, great in PPR because he can catch out of the backfield for you still. I got Jahmyr Gibbs at 7. It's about it. That's about all I got there. But I am a little hesitant in picking some of the Lions this year that early. Number 8, it's Malik Neighbors. That's who I got at number 8. I know the quarterback situation sucks over there. I know. Is it Winston? Is it Dart? Is it DeVito? It's not DeVito. But is it Winston? Is it Dart? Is it Russ? It's probably Russ. But, well, I don't know. If it's Russell Wilson, if it's Dart, if it's Winston, to me, that's relatively all the same this year. You saw from Malik Neighbors that he can put up that production regardless of who's at the helm of quarterback. I like Neighbors a lot. I think he's going to even succeed, obviously, from last year in year 2. He's been making great plays in camp, had a phenomenal rookie season. Reminds me a lot in terms of production-wise from what I've seen so far of DeAndre Hopkins. Never is going to have that quarterback that can sling the rock, a Burrow, a Allen, a Jackson, a Mahomes. I don't think he's ever going to really have that reliant quarterback that can give him the ball always. Yet, he's always going to have that production. That's the player I see in Malik Neighbors. No fall-offs there. He's so uber talented. He reminds me of Hopkins in the sense that for years to come, the production is still going to be there, even if the quarterback play is not. So that's who I got at number 8. I got Malik Neighbors. Number 9, I got Amon-Ra. And I know I'm hesitant on the Lions offense this year. Just a little bit. I still think they'll be really good. In terms of fantasy production and drafting guys early, I'm a little hesitant on it. But Amon-Ra, to me, is one of the best players in the NFL, and he is probably the most consistent player in the NFL. He's one of them. I don't need to explain much about Amon-Ra. Phenomenal talent. Simple enough. I think 9 is really good for him. Some people are really taking him around 11, 12. You draft Amon-Ra, you can sit back, you can relatively, at your wide receiver position, enjoy your Sunday. You know what you're getting from him. You're getting consistent production. You're getting some big-time plays. That's what he brings to the table in that Dan Campbell system. Number 10, I got Green Bay Packers running back Josh Jacobs. Great production last year. Believe he had over 1,300 yards. Believe he had 15 touchdowns, give or take. Packers offense this year, I'm very much for. They got Matthew Golden, who can stretch the field out of UT in the first round, take a little bit of pressure off that running game. Josh Jacobs, simple enough. I got him at 10. Again, the running back fall off, really much out of the first round, is you got some high-quality rookies that you might have to reach for. You got some consistent guys. You got A-Chain. You got Genty, who hint, are actually not on my list whatsoever in the top 12 that I'm not high on. Not high on Genty, not high on A-Chain in terms of first-round production. But Josh Jacobs, to me, gives that pop, gives that production. You saw the numbers last year, fantastic stats. Josh Jacobs comes in at my number 10. 11, very similar to Jacobs, I got Jonathan Taylor. Didn't find as many touchdowns last year as Jacobs did. Quality, solid, consistent. That's what you're getting out of Jonathan Taylor. The quarterback situation, yet again, is it Daniel Jones? Is it Anthony Richardson? Probably he's going to be a half and a half. Richardson may get hurt again. Don't hope so. But given his history, he probably will. They're going to rely on Jonathan Taylor. They're going to rely on the offensive line to win them at minimum 8 games again this year. Taylor, you know what you're getting. Downhill form of running back. Always, every year. I feel like Jonathan Taylor has like a 90-yard rushing touchdown, like out of nowhere. And every year he's got like 1 or 2 games where he gets 2 or 3 touchdowns. Maybe even, usually like 3. Pops off like 2 games out of the year, like ridiculously. Jonathan Taylor, that's my number 11. Coming in at 12, in a 12-man PPR, number 12, last pick of the first round, I got Puka Nacua, and I'm a little hesitant here. They bring in Devontae Adams. Matthew Stafford actually practiced again for the first time this offseason today, which makes me feel better. But with Stafford, a little bit of a question mark in terms of health, and with Devontae Adams coming in, I'm a little worried about Nacua's production. Phenomenal player. He's been very consistent. Has a lot of grit. He's got everything you want. Him at 12, to me, I think he can fall a little further, in all honesty. But I'm going to put him out here at 12. I'm a little worried about Adams taking away some of those targets. I'm a little worried about Stafford's health. Kyron Williams is going to probably lead the league in carries this year. How much production can we see from Puka Nacua? How much ball share can he have? I've got him at 12. He could go a little further down, but that's who I've got fouling off this 12-man PPR first round draft. So 7 Gibbs, 8 Neighbors, 9 Amon-Ra, 10 Jacobs, 11 Taylor, and 12 Nacua. That's who I've got for my first 12 picks in any PPR league. Would love to hear your feedback on that. Drop it in the comments below. Just let me know what you think. But appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. Again, we got Monday night episodes and we got Thursday morning episodes twice a week. All the NFL content you want. Fantasy, bets, analysis, purely and strictly NFL. Looking for all that, you've come to the right place. I really appreciate you all tuning in. Now for our first recurring segment, we're doing the Remember When. And today's Remember When is, do you remember when Tim Tebow was a Jaguar? Do you remember when Urban Meyer was the head coach? Jaguars signed Tim Tebow in 2021 at the tight end position. In May of 2021, Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow ends up being cut in August of 2021. Not the only guy that got cut. What an experiment, though. Tim Tebow, Broncos legend, Broncos playoff legend to Demaryius Thomas, RIP, to beat the Steelers. What a play that was. Baseball legend Tim Tebow, Jacksonville Jaguar tight end legend Tim Tebow. What a weird time that was. To see Tim Tebow in a Jaguars uniform playing tight end on offense. Just weird. Supposedly he got cut, quote, because he couldn't play special teams. I don't know. But what a weird time that was. Urban Meyer. Do you remember this? Urban Meyer went 2-11 in 2021. First year as the Jags head coach. 2020 was an analyst for Fox Sports. 2021 gets signed by the Jags. He goes 2-11 with the Jags. Gets fired. Doesn't even see the 14th game of the year. Do you remember everything that happened there? He kicked a player. He kicked Josh Lambo, I think, at practice. Do you guys remember this? I mean, what a weird story. What a weird guy from Urban Meyer. What an odd time. Not only did he kick a guy, a massive video went out of him at a bar dancing. I'll just leave it at that. Dancing. You can go do some research yourself. Dancing at a bar very closely with a woman, not his wife. So that was another big allegation, or just sort of one-off viral media clip that dealt with his firing, participated in that. What an odd time to be a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. Tim Tebow joins the team. So random. Urban Meyer gets hired. He's kicking players. He's dancing with other women at bars. He's talking about vaccine stuff. I'm not here to talk about vaccine stuff. This is the NFL. I'm not here to do that. But Urban Meyer was doing some weird vaccination or giving benefits to players that were vaccinated or favoring them. I don't know, man. What a wild time. That's the remember when for today's episode. Remember when Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow were a part of the Jags organization that then went 2-11 and Tebow didn't even see the team. What a time. What a time to be alive. All right. Let's wrap up the show for this Monday night. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Swank's Bank. So usually this would be, we're talking about Thursday night football lines. We're reviewing the best bets from Sunday and from the previous week's Thursday night football. That's usually what this would be. Again, it's preseason, so we don't really got that. But we do have 2 preseason games coming this Thursday that I'm going to preview here. Steelers at Panthers. Looks like the line is 36.5. Again, guys, this is preseason. So this segment will really ramp up come regular season. But Steelers at Panthers is the first game of Thursday night football of the preseason. Again, we've entered the last week. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. 36.5 is the line I'm seeing. I am hammering the under 1,000% here. I'm going under 36.5 points in the Steelers at Panthers game. Again, this is Swank's Banks, another reoccurring segment. Next game after that, Patriots at Giants. Close game here. Both teams really having solid camps, solid preseasons. Both teams 2-0. Close game. Henderson, Dart. Will we see them? We're definitely going to see Dart, I imagine. Maybe we'll see Henderson, maybe not. I'm going to take Patriots money line here. It's actually going to be a good game to watch. I'll be tuning in. Patriots at Giants. Last preseason game for them. I'm taking Patriots money line. Steelers at Panthers. Looks like the line's roughly 36.5. I'm going with the under 100% there. So under in the Panthers game and Patriots money line, Patriots at Giants. Again, that's going to be a much bigger segment when the regular season begins. We would talk about Sunday's bets that happened, Thursday Night Football's bets, preview the upcoming Thursday Night Football bets, things like that. That's going to be great. Last notes of the show. Flacco QB, starting QB confirmed for the Browns week 1. Not a surprise there. A lot of memes flying about Shadur behind him and Flacco being the mentor and when Shadur is going to step up. Joe Flacco confirmed. Week 1 starter for the Cleveland Browns. This guy's been in the league so freaking long. The Browns, I think, are going to win 4 or 5 games. Maybe 5 if they're lucky. But Flacco confirmed starter week 1 for the Browns. And NFL Crocs are here. Did you know? News broke out today that the NFL has partnered with Crocs. And you can now buy Crocs that have your NFL team's logo on them. And I believe what are those things called? The gibbets? Whatever you can put inside that hole in the Croc. NFL Crocs. Who would have thought? Not me. I might be having to buy some. So if you're buying NFL Crocs out there, send me a picture. And let me know how they are. If they're comfy, maybe I could throw some on in the new apartment, new place. And rep the Texans or whatnot, but NFL Crocs, very interesting. Maybe if you got a girlfriend, maybe get some for her. Birthday's coming up, maybe Christmas, only a few months away. NFL Crocs could be a nice little purchase there. Could be, never know. But that's gonna do it for us today here at the Swank Tank. Appreciate all of you watchers and listeners out there. We'll be back Thursday morning. Make sure to follow us on all the channels. Really appreciate you guys, and we're just getting started. Regular season starts here real soon. So go follow us on all social media if you haven't already. And you guys have a great Monday night and Tuesday. And we will see you on Thursday. Have a good one.